Hi folks, welcome to the Hot Press Speakeasy, and please give a big round of applause for Walter and Arno of Booka Shade, and Craig Walker, formerly of Power of Dreams. Sit in, guys. Grab a mic. Well, start with Craig and just say welcome home.
Thank you, Olive.
Yep.
Hi.
Craig.
Hello.
Hello. Craig is a Dubliner, as you'll hear when he begins to speak properly.
How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going? And formerly of Power of Dreams, and you've had quite the career since.
Yeah, it's been quite varied and all over the place.
You can expand a little, you know.
I was in Power of Dreams, then I was in a band called Archive from London, and then I'm living in Berlin now.
Yeah,
that's how I met the guys.
Yep. Well, I met you in Berlin just a few months ago. There's a new project then there.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that in a little while. But how did you get together with Walter and Arno?
The studio I'm working out of in Berlin, Arno and Walter have got a studio there as well. So the owner of the studio suggested that we meet, and we did, and we got on really well, and they gave me a track to try something on, and I did, and it worked out.
Sure.
So,
okay.
And then they gave me another track, and then another, and then we suddenly had 7, 8 songs. So.
And then you have an album called Galvany Street.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You guys are from Frankfurt.
More or less.
More or less. I just wondering,
let's say Frankfurt, because the place where we're coming from, nobody will ever heard of. So
okay, I'm just wondering
town.
about the Frankfurt scene versus the Berlin scene, and is there a healthier scene in Berlin?
Yeah, it's probably more vibrant, and Berlin is more like it's the only metropole we have. It's more like New York, very free, liberal. And there are a lot of people, very interesting people, like Craig, for example, that we met in the studio. So there is a lot going on, much more than in Frankfurt. Frankfurt is more like a bank city.
Right.
And it's probably nice to live, but not for doing music.
Okay, all right. I mean, you guys have been together for what, sort of 15 years?
More than 50 years.
Yes. You began as a band called...
Forever.
You began as a band called Planet Claire. So you're B-52s fans, obviously.
Well informed.
Yes.
It was 19... Actually, the first band we had was called Indian Summer, which was 1984.
84?
84.
What were you, fucking 10?
Kindergarten. That was in kindergarten. That doesn't count.
Have you known each other all your lives? I mean, are you...
Well, pretty much, yeah. Since very early age.
Right,
if I say age now, then you can calculate. That's not good.
Okay, all right. So yeah, your brothers, basically.
Yes, and
actually, we spent more time together than with our wives, I would say, which is actually good.
Yeah, no, but as you say, you spend a lot of time together. You go through, ups and downs. You know the histories from each other. You know what it's like to be on a stage with, 20,000 people applauding, but you also know what it's like to have a shit gig and feel terrible, and you don't sleep for days and days. So the ups and downs. So that bonds.
Well, I mean, you've just done a headlining tour for Galvany Street, and how did that go?
That was great.
I was following it on Facebook, actually.
Yeah,
through Craig,
you are the one who follows us on Facebook.
Yes, I've been one follower.
Good.
Now that we know you.
Yeah. Here I am.
No, that went great. It's we've done a little tour through Europe, headline club tour with Craig, and the interesting thing is that we can play differently. We play, like a band. He not only sings but also plays the bass.
Yeah.
So this gives a different approach to many of the arrangements that we do. Also for the classic songs, like a song like In White Rooms would sound very different with him doubling the bass. And that's a lot of fun. It's something we wanted to do for quite a while already. So yeah, we're enjoying it very much.
Okay, and as you travel, I mean, again, I was following Craig's Facebook posts, and one moment you're in Oslo, next you're in Madrid, next you're in Ibiza. So what's the schedule like? Is that very grueling, or is it fun to do still, or...?
I think it's okay, right? So we have Europe more or less, so we don't go like in the crazy days when we traveled from Russia to Australia and back in between like 4 days.
Right.
These days are over, and I'm very happy that this is not the case anymore. So, but no, with Craig, I think it's a good routing. We have good festivals, interesting stuff, and it's all over the place in Europe.
Well, I mean, would you say you're living the dream, or is this kind of like sometimes a bit of a chore?
Oh, no. We consider ourselves very privileged to be musicians basically all our lives. I didn't learn anything else. So, we came straight from school, skipped university, went straight into this music studio, and we still have the opportunity to travel and play. So what else do you want? It's amazing. It's tiring sometimes, of course, with, some jet lags and traveling, but it's still the best job. Better than a work.
There are dark moments when you see your partner after drinking a coffee in a lounge in India, sitting next to you in the plane on a long flight to, where did we go? To whatever, China. I think it was Russia. I think probably and he was throwing up all the time on the toilet. That's this is dark then.
Okay.
Throwing up on you, though.
Happens.
But on the other hand, you have really great moments, of course.
Well, then how does the dynamic work when someone like Craig joins you? Look, I'm asking Craig this actually, but you guys have been together for donkey's years, and then you're bringing a new element into the traveling kind of.
Yeah. The interesting thing was with this album, the songwriting was very different. On other albums, on previous albums, Walter and I would write everything, of course, and with Craig, it was more what we were also looking for, to have more input from people. So we would give him backing tracks, and the backing tracks would be also different than before, because sometimes when we worked with singers, the backing tracks we gave them, they said, well, it's quite difficult to write something on it because there's so much in the backing tracks already with the bass lines and the synth riffs that we have on the instrumental songs, that it makes very difficult to write on it. So we had to strip the songs, the backing tracks, to give him more space to work with it. And that was good for us. It was an interesting experience. And I think, Craig, you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the demos were amazing that they gave me. They could have been released as instrumental tracks. Easily the highest quality demos I've ever had to work with.
Sure.
And,
okay.
So yeah, no, it was easy. It was
German quality.
Yes. But so it was easy to write to, and the music's really melodic anyway. So as a top liner, it's not the most difficult.
And were you sort of popping down? How far away are your studios from each other within Riverside?
15 feet.
It could easily be 20 meters or so. Yeah.
So was that
quite a distance?
Which is in our age already a long distance.
Okay, but you're just popping down the corridor then and going, yeah, I've done this. And I mean, was it a very quick process with the tracks, or did it take a long time?
No, I think the whole production time was probably when we started. I think it was probably 1.5 years ago. Probably it took us, but we started already before that with techno and more techie stuff. And then in the middle of the process, we decided that we want to do something else, that we don't want to follow this path anymore. And so we met Craig. So in total, we worked probably 3.5 years on the album, but with Craig probably half of the time.
And you've just re-released an old album as well, haven't you? Just this year, Memento.
It was Movements.
Movements. Sorry.
10 years edition. So it was more like a celebration of an album that we released 10 years ago. And on that album, we had all the big hits like Body Language and In the White Rooms and all these songs. And so we celebrated. But it was not us. We did it, or we gave it to people, and they remixed the songs.
Okay.
So we weren't involved in the production.
Well, is that not a bit of a weird feeling, giving somebody your songs to have them remixed? And do you have approval on these?
Well, we'd rather, the idea was rather to give other people the opportunity to have their vision of the songs rather than us working with the songs again, because the Movements album for us is still, when we listen to it, it's still there. There's not so much where we think, all right, we have to do all this again.
Yeah.
We do rework the songs anyway for the live shows all of the time. Like for every tour we do, there are new arrangements and new mixes. So for the release, we thought it would be nicer to have the remixes there. And we had a great track list of remixes. It was quite wonderful. And the shows we played around it, we did like the Royal Festival Hall in London with a really nice big production. So that was a highlight last year.
Metropolis.
We also, we took the festival, we took the Movements show also to a festival here in Ireland, which was not this one.
The Electric Picnic. Was
Metropolis.
It was Metropolis.
Metropolis. Was that this year? It was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Okay. Good festival, actually. Yeah, in the RDS. Yes. And Craig, just to bring it back to you, you have a new project called Then There with Phoebe Kildare. So tell me a little bit about that.
Me and Phoebe wrote that song "Fade Out Lines" together a few years ago,
Which was a massive hit all over Europe.
Yeah.
Number one in Germany for a year.
So we had intended to write for other people, and that was the plan. But we went to meet BMG, our label, and they said you should release it yourself. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick it out probably early next year.
Okay, cool.
So it's nearly finished.
I'm actually looking forward to hearing it because my croaky vocals are on one track.
Yeah, you're on one of the tracks. Yeah. We turned up on it.
It's the worst track on the album. But yes.
No.
Okay, so what can people expect from the show this evening? I mean, how do you do it?
Well, we present the album, of course, Galvany Street. So a part of the show will be with the new songs. And then, of course, there's a part also where we play some of the classics in new arrangements. Craig sometimes will play the bass. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one.
Okay, I don't want to end on a bum note, but I'm thinking about the Ariana Grande show in Manchester last week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that and what's happening? That music has been targeted by terrorists, essentially.
Yeah, of course it's terrible. I saw something that U2 said on a night show somewhere in America, and I can only agree what he said there. That we want to live our lives this way, and everybody should have the possibility to live the life they want to. And music is a very bonding thing. Everybody loves music. So we should never take this away. In Germany, only yesterday, there was a terror threat at a big festival called Rock am Ring. So they had to evacuate 80,000 people. But it went really well. There was no panic and nothing. So and that's great. We all have to be together, and we should have the possibility to enjoy music together.
It is of course crazy when we go in a room now, or especially me, and then I check where's the exit and stuff. You're always in this warning position because you know that it can happen anytime.
Yeah.
So it's not a nice feeling. Also in airports and public buildings, it's not good.
Yeah. Well,
just to say, my son is 16 years old, and the Ariana Grande concert, there were so many kids there. It's terrible. But would I tell my son not to go there? No, I think I wouldn't. I think it's something we have to live with, and if we want to live our lifestyle in freedom, then we just have to go on.
Sure. Okay. I don't want to end on that note, so I'll just ask.
Yeah, right. Everybody have fun.
Are you guys going to work together again?
Techno is great.
We already are, actually. We've already started something else.
Another album?
No. It's with another singer. So we've written a song for Monet. Is that how you pronounce it? It's a German singer. She's brilliant. Young singer from Berlin. And we've done a song that's going to come out. We don't know when, but it's really good.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Booka Shade.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.